Well, right now, definitely. I just figured a game so fun. see if I can drop skills. Oh shit. Nah, I think they go away. No. Damn, dude. Awesome. builds up, it's really strong. It's like I don't know, to me it's like a safe build. You know what I mean? You kind of just hang back, drop a bunch of like sentries and targets. You get all these pets in front of you. And then you're firing off these arrows. Dropping grenades the whole time. Yeah, so the belt the grenade bounces up on all the time, so it's like I feel like I don't know. You just get a lot of protection. I feel like it's a nice safe build.
Yeah, and it's quite a wide area.
Oh, for sure. You hang back, you drop each, you know, if you drop the sentries like really strategically, you know what I mean? It'll be good.
Sure.
Sorry if I'm like yelling into the mic right now. I got new headset and I'm like, it's like covering my ears. I feel like I'm screaming.
tired of screwing up, tired of going down, tired of myself, tired of this town.
Small pond, big pond, the fish are the only difference. City out of harmony, lingering on the dissonance. Fishermen wrapping up citizens with their fishing nets. Sometimes chemical, some played old imprisonment. Dissidents laughing at themselves as if they had a voice. Acting like technology really gives them a better choice. Protect the borders as we stack up our elitism. Defeatism is what we pretend that we keep believing in. I'm straddling both lines, the quietest revolt. Politicians fake like they caring that we vote. Legalese verbose, cause if it's plain English, then that's ADD riddle, and riddle children might get it. And if they do, then you're fucked. When they know what's up, you might start seeing public servants dressed as little punks. No tie, no suit, they just looking for some truth. Campaign funds came from hacked ATM booths. Talking grassroots, man, they talking run and shoot. I just sit back and figure out what the fuck to do. And of course I want the loot. Everyone deserves the freedom first. Trying to find a balance between callous and liberal bleeding. One hand in my pocket, one fist in the air. White guy from the suburbs like I probably shouldn't care. But fuck this establishment, I really ain't having it. Manipulate like Machiavelli until I'm grabbing it.
I feel something creeping in it up. I feel something creeping in it up. I feel something creeping in it up. Tired of this town.
Me 2 times, shift gear, 6th gear, mash it till I get there. Philadelphia state of mind until I get my head clear. DMV stand up, Baltimore and what? The politics of everything suck, so just man up. Don't know what to stand for, at least I'm still upright. Even those on the down low can be uptight. Not me, I'm me, balls in my hand when I'm spitting, cause my potency's stronger than any man's. And I'm never laying down, feet are not in the sand. Only vacations we get are at the bottom of a glass. Top me off again, popping vodka for a tan. This fifth is like a time machine, a weekend in Japan. Line by line, my rhymes revealing what's inside of me. Nothing to be proud of, but at least I get it out of me. How did he trick the doctor out of a lobotomy? Whatever he's got, you'll probably be put inside a bottle. Please, FDA approval, then it fixes the economy. Rationality becomes a standard for the commonly. Less bombings and a sharp decline in who's in poverty. Suddenly the Nobel Peace Prize goes to a rhymer like bang.
I feel something creeping in it up. I feel something creeping in it up. I feel something creeping in it up. Tired of this town.
Yeah. They've been around for a little bit, but yeah, they're, I'll say newer, but not brand new. But yeah, it's still a newer thing. I think I just heard a goblin actually. If you want to try and get close to me. Yeah, I got a blood goblin. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Which is fucking awesome. Yeah, it is. Cool. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, right. Vault runs. Hold on, hold on. You want to do that with me? We can do a minute and then get at it.
music, you're basically having a conversation. There's a question. There's an answer. Ooh, bit of a dodgy question here.
Yeah, what a shame.
I am convinced that I have no idea.
So I'm just gonna keep testing it out, kinda. Sorry guys, I know this is boring. But I gotta make sure, right? Sounds a little bit better. Skibbly doo ba ba da ba ba da ba, skibbly dee 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 dee. Alright, let's leave it the way it is for now. Lower the music. And that's about all I can do, really. I can just lower that a little more, actually. Alright, I think that'll be good. So really what I was saying was, thanks everybody, we're going to take 5. I just wanted to say thank you again for everyone checking out the channel. Regulars, Miss Madness, Platinum Steve, Black Fox for that host. Dude, I didn't say anything that you could probably hear, but I was trying to say thank you. Came in a little late though, so I apologize. You guys are all a bunch of heroes. Muffin Proof. Dude, again, Black Fox, that host, dude, means a lot. And Imp for playing with us, and Artie for getting in the game. Thank you again. We'll be back in 5. Yeah, yeah, I play it a lot actually, and I've played it for the past couple of years, honestly. On and off for probably last like 3 years, like legit. And now I'm like back into it again. So that I'm putting time into. Um, what else? Did you ever play that game H1Z1? I played that a little bit. I haven't played that in a couple of weeks now, at least, but it's called H1Z1. It's like this crazy survival game. It's crazy. I can't even like explain it. It's like pure survival. You know. Guild Wars 2. I play Guild Wars. I mean, I got a few of the Blizzard games, you know, so. What else am I playing? On console, I play the Darksider games and Batman. You know. Okay, well, you know, fucking Batman. Everyone knows Batman. I play the Batman games. Yeah, fuck yeah, those are wicked good, dude. Yeah, oh yeah. At least the few that I've played, I can definitely speak for and say they're good. And then of course like classic games, you know, like all the Nintendo games and all that shit. I don't have like a Wii right now or anything like that. I have like a Game Boy or a DS, you know, but I still play like, you know, like Pokemon and shit like that too, straight up. Yeah, oh yeah. Trying to think what else I play. Right now, most of my time is in D3 and Neverwinter. I stream D3. I try to stream it like every day. And then Neverwinter, I'll stream a couple of times. I've played, once again, like the Blizzard games. Like I'll play like StarCraft and shit. And there's like StarCraft 1 remastered supposedly coming out. Yeah. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, that was nice. I play that Marvel Heroes game. I don't know if you're into like comic books or anything like that. But Marvel. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I hear you. It's a lot like this, except with, you know, like superhero characters. And honestly, it's gotten a lot better since the beginning. You know, it's one of those. They've shifted everything around. Definitely check it out again. Let's see, what else am I playing? I really want to get Rocket League. I haven't actually purchased that game, but I've played it a few times and it's a ton of fun, and I want to get it, so I'm probably gonna get it. Well, it's on console and it's on PC as well. You know, you can get it through Steam or whatever. What else? I definitely play like Mortal Kombat and shit like that. That's on console though. And then they're coming out with that new. They're coming out with a new Mortal Kombat game, but it's called Injustice, and it's like another superhero take, basically. So it's like Batman and Superman, and they're like fighting. Basically, it's gonna be sick. Yeah, fuck yeah. he opened another one. I was about to, but he beat me to it. And now he's popping stuff, fair warning. And I'm open to other games. Like I've played a bunch of other games. I play Overwatch and shit, another Blizzard game. I tried playing WoW. I didn't get into that. For console and stuff. Like I've played the Call of Duty games. I've played Halo. I was like obsessed with the Zelda games as a kid, and I would still totally play those now. I just haven't a little more recently. I do on my DS, but same thing. It's, dude, that shit's too like small. It hurts my hands. You know what I mean? So I don't even play it all that much. Yeah, so I can't even show like the Zelda games like the love I want to, even in that system. I'm probably gonna get like, in the future. I'm not gonna get it anytime soon, but I'll probably get something like that. I just lost like touch with like first-person shooters, I played the Gears of War games. Yeah, right. Quake, oh shit. Yeah, Unreal, dude. Unreal Tournament and shit. Yeah, wow. But yeah, I played Gears of War. Like I said, Halo and shit, and like Call of Duty, I guess. Like I played that shit when it was like a few years ago. You know what I mean? More than that. But they got old after a while, and they kind of like burned me out of those types of games. You know what I mean? You know what? I did, but I didn't stick to it. And it wasn't anything personal. I just didn't continue it for some reason. Yeah, okay. Are you still playing it, or? Okay, fair enough. Okay. Yeah, for the way you've been grinding and the way you were running it. I hear you. It's brutal when a game does that. am full on blood shards, and I'm like dragging them with me. I don't know if you've ever done that before, but it's really funny. I got him. I'm still bringing him down with me. I almost got it the whole way down. That's awesome. I have, but I didn't get too far in it, you know. But I totally have. Nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it becomes a turnoff. When you realize that it's not as like fun as I understand what you mean. Spending lot of money on a free game can be a deal breaker for me. When I realize, I feel like I feel like we've gone through similar situations. Like you have the sudden epiphany, like am I doing this because I want to, or because like it's fun, or because why? So I know what you mean. Yeah, fair enough. Hmm. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, yeah. I can dig that too. Here, I got you. Definitely let me know if you download anything else, any other games or anything. We'll figure it out. Okay. Yeah, I hear you. I think they're probably, and I don't know if this is a thing at all, but maybe toned down a little bit in the vaults, you know, because I've noticed there's no pet goblin, and you know what I mean. You know, and it's T13. I mean, we also only have 3 people versus 4, so maybe, you know, that would make a big difference. Who else do we have on? Anyone? I don't think we do. Damn, we're hurting right now. Just drop all my skills before it's even up. Fucking idiot. So stupid, dude. So stupid. So stupid. Dude. Ready for this. Just found a puzzle ring. Excuse me. Sorry for yawning in your ear. Oh my god, blackthorns. Nice. I think I actually started it up accidentally, to be honest. So fair warning. Hey, you want an ancient amulet to go with that ancient ring you found? No. Yeah, no problem. Nice. Trying to push him back towards you guys. No, we're gonna lose him. I'm sorry, that was my fault.
Carbon fiber, 28 caliber, made in China. If you want to kill a public servant, Mr. Maroney, I recommend you buy American.
Someone threw me a follow. And it looks like their name is I Hated 3 and Will Play Path. I don't know what it means, but you're a hero, whoever you are. They're checking us out doing this this multi-vault. I guess so, yeah, I was streaming it, and we got a follow, so hello. I hate D3 and will play Path of Exile is what their name means. That's really, really funny. And he goes, I want you to prove me wrong. Well, here's the deal, my friend. I haven't played Path of Exile in a little while. And from what I've heard, it's a great game. So I'm not going to sit here and try and prove to you that this game's better without playing the other game first. We'll start with that. But it's D3. You know. It's getting nothing but better. Well, it's actually pretty cool. I mean, it's a very similar playstyle. And from what I've heard, they've added a whole bunch of new content to it. And the only reason... I don't know. I honestly almost downloaded it again the other day, but the reason I didn't was because I just recently uninstalled it after not playing it for a while, whereas D3 I continued playing since day one. So, but yeah, oh yeah, I played the shit out of D2. I still play it. What is endgame in Diablo? It's a good question. I mean, basically, when you beat the story mode for Diablo, you open up adventure mode, which is just like another, think of it as like a mini campaign mode. Like each act has a bunch of mini quests that you can do if you want. It's easier to open like different areas in the game that have, like, you know, big bosses or mass enemies, stuff like that. Stuff you can't do in the story mode. Unlock different leveling systems and stuff like that. I mean, it's not as complicated as I'm making it sound, and it is stuff that you can do through campaign mode, but it would take so long to get that far. And then some of it you can't access through campaign mode. Here, give me a second, man. I just don't want to shout all this in your ear. So, for example, we're in adventure mode right now, right? And something you'll find throughout the game is a ring right here. I saved a bunch of them. And you can't do this in campaign. I'm more than positive you can't even access this little thing. So this ring, you know, you'd wear it, and it summons this little guy that that'll help you pick up items, and he'll maybe even drop like a really unique item. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And no, I totally understand it. But you know, you're giving me good conversation to keep going. So I'm not gonna I'm not gonna take you you know, the hate too seriously, obviously. But it's good convo. You're getting me to talk, so I appreciate it. But once again, end game for D3, right? We're in this part of the game where, oh, Artie's getting off. Oh, nice, dope. Thought they were primal at first, actually. So some of the end game, once again, we got this thing called the puzzle ring, and it summons this little guy. You can get this in story mode, but something you can do, and so a part of the end game content is you can take this ring after you unlock this like super secret vendor, basically, which you can't get in story mode. So this is like a secret vendor, once again, that you can't get in story mode, that I'm going to put a ring into. Basically, I'm almost going to like sell him this ring, right? And I'm going to edit it with some weird D3 word that Blizzard likes to, you know, make up or whatever. I don't know. I'm teasing. And we're going to transmogrification the puzzle ring. And it's going to be eaten by this vendor. No! And we're going to run this like crazy portal that we just opened. And it's going to be super crazy. Just going to wait for our homie here. Another thing, end game, you know what, this isn't necessarily end game, but a lot of people won't even hit this point if they're playing only campaign mode. Because most people won't even hit like last level if they're only playing campaign mode. They'd probably got like leveled up or something like that, right? If they've actually are hitting a point of Paragons. So Paragons is once you hit your top tier level, which is, if you don't have the expansion, it's level 60. If you do have the expansion, it's 70. So if you hit 60 or 70, depending on if you have the expansion or not, you will unlock something called Paragon leveling. And that's, instead of unlocking skills and passive, you know, gaining, you know, just strength and vitality and all your resource going up by your levels, you get to add to, if you want to add to your strength or your vitality or your resource. And each level you get, I don't know, a couple points, skibbly-doo. It's a point in each, I believe. And after a handful of levels, you'll max the ones that have caps. And then you'll never be able to max the ones that don't, which are your strength and your health, which is a way to get super beast. Don't you know? Then, on top of it, for endgame content, this is something you can only do in this adventure mode that you can only do if you beat the campaign mode. And it's there. So there are regular gems, which are in story mode, right? But then there are legendary gems, which are only in adventure mode. And these, instead of adding, you know, strength or intel or resistance or whatever, these are going to add something a little different, you know. Like this has life regeneration, which isn't that big of a difference compared to life per hit, right? I mean, it is, obviously, but if you look at the extra stat it has is if you don't get hit for 4 seconds, you get a shield that absorbs 200% damage. What content can you clear after the main storyline? Well, the way to get these gems is by unlocking, by coming here. Okay, this is something that's only in adventure mode, which is what you have to beat campaign mode to unlock adventure mode, right? So you come here and you can open another, very similar to what we did down here, right? You open this portal to an area with a bunch of enemies, and if you can beat it, you if you can clear that area, okay, you get something that allows you to open up another area with big bad boss guys. Okay, so you open the other area and you're fighting these big scary monsters. Okay, and if you can clear that, that's how you get these gems that we were talking about. And then these gems, the only way to level them up is by getting more of those keys that we were talking about, by doing those other runs, and you got to clear those runs. You can't just like start it up and leave. It's not like you just get credit for that. And then when you clear the runs that get you these keys, you got to use these keys to open up those other runs, and you got to clear those. You know. And then we were talking about mini campaign, which is what I call it, just to make it a little easier. You know, so campaign mode, you go through each act, right? And each act has a certain quest in each area. These are all different areas, right? That you go through the campaign mode. So these mini quests I'm talking about are called bounties, and you go through each one. They're like mini quests. And if you
Carbon
clear each
fiber,
one,
28 caliber, made in China. If you want to kill a public servant, Mr. Maroney, I recommend you buy American.
thank you, Kosour. Very, very nice. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Much appreciated. So, but what I was saying is that if you clear these bounties, okay, you got to clear them all, you'll get a fat loot drop at the end of it. Definitely worth it. Then, if you do each act, okay, and you clear all those mini all the mini little skibblies, the mini quests, bounties, okay, you get these special crafting materials. Okay, so these are just regular crafting materials that you use for a bunch of crap, right? And these are only from the bounties. I don't have a lot of these, right? It's scary. And then you can do all kinds of super cool stuff with that you can only do and as end game stuff after you beat the campaign. And if you clear all that other stuff I was talking about, is to help with those gems. You know, that's a whole nother part of end game stuff. So part of those materials isn't just for the crafting over here. I'll show you. You know, if I wanted to craft a one of these belts or something, I would need at least one, and then a bunch of materials, right? These are super rare. I only have 2. So they're not just for crafting, though. There's another part of the game with where you can use those materials, okay? And it's with this cube down here. This little it's a secret vendor who was in the game, and you can use some of those materials to do all kinds of crazy crafting. You can like edit your gear like crazy. It's cool. Ugh. You know, it's a little making it sound a little more complicated than it is, and it's not like you can, you know, change everything to where you never have to play the game again to get the gear you want. It's like, no, you got to really grind the game to do this stuff. It's not like you can just change any part of your gear to do anything you want it to do. No. You're fine, man. For me, with this game in particular, it's a few things, right? And you know, I want to start with how great the game is and how great it is to play and all that, right? But really, it's the community at this point, you know. You got a little bit of everything in there. You got, you know, you got your jerks, which makes it fun to play. I know it sounds stupid. And you got your community or clan that you set up, right? And they're all a bunch of heroes, you know. We all get together. We know that not everything's perfect in every game, right? Not just D3. But the community is strong. And that makes it a huge part of why I play. You know, I've got a lot of like friends in this game, you know, and a lot of time spent in this game to where it's like I know that eventually it'll break out of its competition phase with everything else. Like they you know, that's how I feel like it is right now. And the competition's good with other games, like we were saying, Path, right? Path of Exile. But I'm more talking about competition with the other Blizzard games that just get a ton of more attention and a ton of more money and funding in them and stuff like that. But the community for this game, even though it's, I feel like, really probably understaffed and underfunded, and that's probably very hard for the people who are staffed on this game and who are, you know what I mean, doing a lot for this game. You can see it, like that anniversary event and stuff. They were talking about how that the people who work there have a ton of love for this game, but and that it seems like they all know it doesn't get the attention it deserves. But you know, I think it's like a shareholder thing. We're getting really deep for no reason. Sorry, but you know, I play this game not just from the nostalgia point or like because I got friends in the game though. You know, I personally am still trying to get on the leaderboards. You know, I'm competitive to a certain extent. You know, I'm not like crazy competitive, and this game doesn't have like, you know, pay to win techniques like a lot of other games do. So I'm still trying to get on leaderboard with the idea that, you know, I grind the game pretty hard. You know, that's one thing that gets me to log in each day. And you know, unfortunately, this game could use a lot more, right? We're not arguing that for like even a daily login just to get some free stuff. It doesn't actually have that, right? But I still log in daily even though it doesn't have that kind of stuff. And it's because I want to grind a little more every day and build up a little more every day, because eventually I know that this crazy amount of time I put into this game will show not just how much fun I have with it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just because I have a mad fun. But I don't know, I got something to prove, right? I'm always, and I've said it to a point now where like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? I have different grinds for this game, you know, because there's so much to do in this game. So I've dedicated, you know, each day to looking forward to running certain things in this game. You know what I mean? And I kind of just designed it like that myself, you know, and that's something you can do with this game. You know, it gives you a path to follow, if you will, right? Because it's an RPG. But, you know, the way I play it is different than a lot of people. Shit. waiting for him to jump towards me, and then I'm gonna... Come on. Damn. See, and now, you know, now we're doing a back and forth with who's alive. This is really funny. Sorry, I know I interrupted our super cool conversation. Nice. You know, but what we were talking about was reasons to log in every day, right? And I've created my own because there's a lot of stuff to grind in this game for endgame, and if you don't do all of it, and if you don't do it right, you're not going to get on the leaderboards, and you're not going to be the best of the best, right? Or even close to it, which is all I'm aiming for. I just want to get, you know, bottom tier leaderboard. I don't even care. Just want to get on there. Because, like I said, I've got a lot of time in this game. It's a ton of fun, and the community is awesome. And I want to be on, I don't know, on top of that community. Ooh. In Path, I log in to grind the end game, not kill bosses, just grind mobs. And I find that's what I like to do in the game. In D3, it seems like you can only do linear quest, and there's not really a lot of choices of what you can do. What are your thoughts on that? Well, kind of what I was just saying, you know, it is an RPG, right? They do set up a path for you to follow for endgame. It looks like it's a lot more linear than, you know, it looks like it's thinner than it is, right? It looks like it's a little more narrow than it is. But that's if you have all of the stuff in the end game. You know what I mean? Like, unless you're, and even at that point, it's so expensive to run certain things. Sorry. So I hear you on that. It is a little bit, it's a little bit like, a little bit narrow and a little bit guided with a force, right? But there is so much to do in endgame for this game to where, once again, I told you I'm grinding it 5 days out of the week. I have a different grind to help gear towards being better at the end game in this game. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to argue that it looks a little one-sided, because in comparison to other games, when they have so much, like an overwhelming amount of stuff with what you can work with, this does seem like it's a little more narrowed down. But this is a numbers game, you know what I mean? You have a handful of things that you work with, right? This is just some of the weapons for the Demon Hunter and other characters. You know, these are like super special weapons with like crazy effects on them, you know. And once again, just this one class, there's a handful of weapons. And that's a lot to work with, you know what I mean? It doesn't look like a lot when you have played the game for a while, or if you're playing a game that has like a bazillion items. But these items all have different combinations of stats and stuff, and, you know. You know, endgame is being able to make all this stuff multiple times if you want to try and get better stats and stuff like that, you know. The replayability is where this game's at. I don't know how to express what I really want to ask, though. Haha, I understand your point. Well, I'm also ranting after I say stuff, right? So once again, we talked about for endgame for this game. We talked about the legendary gems versus regular gems. We talked about opening different portals to different areas with different enemies, and different bosses, and that's all through endgame. So campaign. I haven't even done campaign with this character. That's crazy. But I did it with, you know, a bunch of my older characters. And how do you heal in D3? Well, of course, there's potions in D3. And then, you know, you have life per hit, or life steal, or life regeneration, or there are little like consumable wells in the game, you know, when you know, a healing well kind of thing. And there are like little things that drop, little pieces that drop that you can heal from, like potions that drop, basically, that auto heal you. You don't have to click them after you pick them up. You just pick them up and they heal you. So campaign mode, once again, these are all different difficulties that you can't unlock unless you have done crazy shit in the game. Just another part of crazy grinding. So we're about to open, once again, this is an area for it's only endgame, you know what I mean? This is only for people who've beaten the game before. So this is only endgame here. And this, once again, is to open an area that has just a crazy amount of enemies, and it gives you access to another area that and these all drop like night. There's loot drop, and there's like, it's not just you go in there and kill things and whatever. It's, you know, the whole point is to beef up and to level up, and it's, you know, a little bit better XP, and it's nice gear and that kind of thing, you know. And the only way to do this is endgame. This is endgame stuff. And yeah, it looks like there's only 2 things there, and it sounds like they're just areas that you can kill stuff. But it's like, yeah, you know, I mean, this is the video game where you're fighting monsters, right? So it kind of makes sense. So that's endgame stuff. This vendor here is endgame, and this is a huge, huge upgrade. I mean, it does a ton of stuff. This guy like crafts and stuff like that, right? This is how you craft your items. This is a similar sense where you're doing crazy stuff with your gear. We don't even have to get into it right now because it's just super complicated, right? But that's another piece of endgame content that you wouldn't be able to get otherwise. Pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, these are endgame, which is another. Just killing mobs and bosses. How many areas can you go to? So for endgame areas, you can basically go anywhere in the game, right? Whereas campaign, it is a little more driven. You're going through steps, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? But each one has a ton of areas that you go through. So in endgame, you can go through all of these areas, which a lot of people do, and they'll grind down everything, find everything. Or you can do these highlighted areas, and at the end you get a fat loot drop. See what I'm saying? Now, it's not like these aren't the new areas in the game after you get endgame. You know what I'm saying? The new areas are the these portals to new worlds with crazy enemies and crazy bosses and stuff. The end
Carbon
game
fiber,
for
28 caliber, made in China. If you want to kill a public servant, Mr. Maroney, I recommend you buy American.
well, thank you very much. We're gonna wait and see who that was. Impy the Zulu. Imp, dude. Much love. Thank you for coming through on the follow. I really appreciate it. Good runs, man. Good runs. Thank you again. Really appreciate it. So endgame for D3 we were saying was you can only do, like when you're doing campaign, you can only do and bounce from each area you've unlocked. And then if you go to the next act, you can't go back to Act 1 and do it. Like, you know, so endgame lets you teleport to every one of these areas, whether you've completed it in this whatever yet, because you already have, you know. So it's not that you unlock everything, it's you unlock, or it's not that you unlock anything new, it's you unlock everything at once. You can go anywhere in the game now, basically, including new areas that aren't necessarily in the campaign at all, right? But they're not necessarily always like something you can just access easily now that you've beaten the game. You have to work for a lot of this end game stuff, and you have to be really smart about it. Not saying anyone isn't, but it's like you have to like really follow certain strategies, and really it's kind of crazy, because you would almost never think of it. I think a lot of people, like I just never would think of it. That's all. Like I remember the first time I heard people were unlocking these certain portals and stuff, and they were like, yeah, you just put it in there and do it. And I was like, wow, you know, that's a lot like D2 even. It's not even like a big surprise that you can do that, but I didn't even think of it, and it's fucking crazy, and it's awesome. Yeah. Yo, what's going on, Hex? What's going on, Black Fox? You guys are such heroes. Thank you for coming through. Right now we're talking D3 with a player who I think he hasn't played in a while, or I'm not sure. But we're just discussing endgame and stuff like that. Yo, Impy and Kosour, Hex, Black Fox, you guys are all a bunch of heroes. Nightbot coming through, thank you very much. Yeah, I haven't played Path yet, but like I have before, but not recently. To where I can't be like, oh yeah, I have this much or whatever. Well, you're missing out on hanging out with us, man. We're a solid team, and we have a lot of fun together when we play together. That's a first. You know, people don't start with the good, and I think that's really good, man. We got a nice little clan and some solid members, and that's what you're missing out on, is the community that is surrounded by, that makes these games, you know. That's the first thing. Second thing is you're missing out on another fun game. You know, if it's a style you obviously like, if you're playing that much Path, then you clearly like the style, and you should play. You should play with us too, man. You should get You should get on. Definitely. Join our clan. We'll have a good time. And you know what? If you don't end up getting into it eventually, we are going to do giveaways and stuff on this channel. And if you still don't have this game by then, for whatever reason, maybe Santa will come early for you. You know? But I got all my clan members to hook up first. You know, these are people that come in regularly and support my channel. Those won't be like random giveaways. We're going to hook them up. I was thinking Steam cards. A lot of people have Steam, right? I was thinking if some people play WoW or Hearthstone. I'm thinking like cards for that or something, right? Maybe GameStop cards or PlayStation cards or Xbox cards, you know, stuff like that. I would do D3 cards if they don't have the micro transactions anymore, or the auction house, you know what I mean? So he's talking about Path having 3 difficulties, 4 acts. And now they're making it 1 difficulty, but they're adding 6 acts. And he said the skills you can use are based on your character. And that, well, he's asking, and yeah, that's right. Can you show me what skills your character can use if there is a choice? So, yes, absolutely. So, click, right click, and then I have it set to my number 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you have 4 passive skills. Okay. So my number 1 skill, I have it's like just a quick throw. You know what I mean? And I have different options for that quick grenade throw. Okay. You know, this one's a fire damage one and it throws out three grenades. This one's a lightning damage one and it can stun people. This one's it says it's a cluster bomb, so it's like a bunch of little skibblies. So this is based on my character, though. No, not necessarily my weapon. Skills that are based on weapon are still like kind of based on character. Like for example, not everyone is going to use a certain bow that like my character uses because it's like an archer character, you know. And if I'm not wearing a bow on this character, which I don't necessarily have to, I wouldn't be able to use the bow skills, you know. But everyone, you know, everyone can still just about use almost anything, you know, so it's cool. It's not like it limits you too much, but it kind of gives you the idea of who's using what and you know. So then that was just my left skill. Then my right skill, I have another real nice shot. It's another grenade shot basically, but it's a different version. It's called Cluster Arrow. So it's an arrow that shoots. It's like basically a grenade launch. But it's with a bow, you know. So if I didn't have a bow on, I wouldn't be able to use this, but I could still use this one. Then I got a couple other skills, like this is a turret that I summon, and it can shoot. I can have different attributes, you know, like a rockets. It can pierce people. It can do chains. This is kind of cool. Whereas normally I use this one. It's a freeze version, and it kind of slows people down if they get close to it, and it fires if they get close to it. Then I got another skill. This is like a buff skill. I use it, and you kind of go like beast mode. There's a few different versions of that. I can't check them out now because I just used it like an idiot. This is a travel skill I have, and the one I'm using lets you use it multiple times, so it costs a little less. But there are other versions. One hurts them, one stuns them, that kind of thing. And then I have a summon, and it's a wolf that I have as a summon. And it raises your damage, basically. Then for the gear I have gear that adds to the grenades that we were talking about that I use. I have gear that adds to the pets that we talk about that I use. It adds to the turrets that I use and the that cluster arrow of bombs that I use. So the gear kind of synergizes with the skills. That's really the goal, right? To not only have decent gear, right, but to have skills that work with the gear the best as possible. But if someone with your character using a bow at the same level, he will have exactly the same skills, or you can choose from a list. Okay, so I know what you're saying, man. Yeah, basically the way it works is when you get to your top levels, like level 70 or whatever. If I made a character and you made a character, we would both have access to all the same skills at level 70. But doesn't mean you're necessarily going to use them. And it doesn't mean I'm going to use the same skills as you, you know what I'm saying? But yes, we would have access. We would have access to the same skills. Some people like to create multiple characters and use different skills. Some people like to create one character and swap gear and swap skills and stuff. It really just depends on the person. This gives you the option to do either. You can make a new character if you want. You don't have to swap gear and do all that, which it allows you to quick swap and stuff like that. So you can swap easily, you know, and you do have access to the same skills. That's what we were getting at. But, you know, it really depends on the person. Once again, some people don't feel like swapping gear and don't feel like swapping skills. They will just make another character. And you can do that. That sounds awesome. And I have a million characters, I feel like, you know, in comparison to some people just make like one, you know. And no problem. Thank you, dude. You got me chatting it up. It's great. I love it. Thank you so much for coming to the channel. Throwing me your follows. Dude, you're a hero. Absolute. I think we lost the music. I'm thinking about buying the game. Sorry for the newbie questions. Dude, these are not noob questions. This is a great conversation. I really appreciate it, man. And I hope you do buy the game, and I want you to join our clan. You'd be doing me a huge favor. I mean, literally, if you buy the game because of this conversation, I practically work for Diablo. So, that's awesome. I really appreciate it. And I think you should get it, man. And you might as well get it soon, you know, because there's going to be new content coming out for this game in the not too distant future. You should get into it now, kind of get a feel for it, and then that way when things change, you'll fucking be able to see the differences and know what's changing and know what's going on, and you'll have us to help you guide you. Help you guide you, you know. You know, and I mean, yeah, I won't be, I won't push too hard. You could wait and wait for all this new content, but no one really knows when it's coming out, and you might as well get into it sooner rather than later, so you're hip to the game. Oh. Kurosawa, Kurosawa, you are a hero. Yeah, nice. Black Fox, Hex, KO Sour, man. You guys are a bunch of heroes. I really can't thank you enough. I just backed out of that music again. God dang it. Sorry for the wait. Cool. Alright, so you know what? We'll back out of this game. What do you think that have the most new content? The main history or the end game? So I think what you're asking is what's been updated most recently. And I would definitely say endgame stuff has been updated, but that's not true because they more recently added they organized some of your crafting materials a little more. I just pulled out of the game. I'll show you in a second. We were talking about it just a little earlier. But I think that, you know, that would go either way. You don't have to be endgame to appreciate the organization of your crafting materials. You know what I mean? But that was a new update, and that was a nice update, honestly. Everyone is appreciating that. I'll show you right now. So check this out. Crafting materials were just like, you know, I got gems right here, right? Because I'm putting those into gear and stuff. Those are a little more on hand, right? But the crafting materials you're using only for crafting, and they take up a lot of space, right? You know, if I had 43,000 pieces, I mean, that's crazy, right? They would stack and stack and stack. And it was just too much after a while. So they made it a little easier to handle, which is really nice, and everyone appreciates it. What do you think is bigger and has the most things to do, main history or endgame? The most variety of things. Well, that's a hard question too. I mean, when you break it down, the campaign has a handful of different, you know, acts, right? And different stories in each act, and different side quests in each act that are only accessible through story mode, right? Achievements you can get and stuff like that. And then endgame is when you really start getting into all this crazy gear. You start gaining access to being able to stack on these crazy passive abilities and stuff like that, and reducing cooldown, reducing cost, and just like how high that can get. So, you know, endgame, I would feel like gets more time put into it nowadays, right? Because everyone is grinding real hard towards some of that top tier stuff. It's the only way to get on leaderboard is through the end game stuff, right? That's not true, actually. You know, we were just talking about completing, you know, let's say you complete the campaign mode in a certain time. That's only campaign, right? So nothing to do with end game. But it is ending campaign mode, I guess, really fast. So there's just a lot to do in this game. You just have to have the love and the appreciation of video games to really see it. You know, I'm not saying you don't. I'm not saying anyone doesn't or that whatever. But you know, the problem is when people and some of these companies, not saying anyone in particular, they overhype the stuff, and when you play it or when you hear about it, there's a lot of problems or something, or a lot of negative feedback, which stinks, you know. But it's gonna happen for anything. You should get on, man. You gotta get on with us. You should buy right now, homie. Get on with us. We'll play. I'm gonna take 5 though. I'll be right back. Yeah, see, you're saying you just bought the supporter pack, but you're already looking into other games. So, you know, yeah, man, you should. There's going to be a lot here to learn. You know, it'll be a whole new thing to learn. It'll be a nice experience for you. I really think that. And you know what? All the people you're talking to right now, myself included, obviously, are in this clan that and we all roll together, and you know, you should get on our Discord. You should get on with us, man. It'd be awesome. I would love that. That would be so good. Interesting. I can dig that, Hex. I can dig that too. It is, if you get powered leveled and stuff, you do get kind of turned off, and it's too fast and everything's too much, you know. But if you want, when you do get the game, we'll play the campaign together. I've been looking to run the campaign for a while now, and I haven't. So we should play together on the campaign, if anything, because I'd love that. I'd love to run it with you, you know. And if not, either way, we should start doing speed campaign runs and try and beat that shit in like a fast time or something. All right, I'll be right back. So I mean, I'd like to answer that question on my from myself as well, not just put it on Hex here. Um, to know everything about this game, I mean, is borderline impossible. Um, and here's why. The lore in this game alone goes on for decades, if not even longer, because some of it is like so dark, and you know, some of these names and some of these stories, right? So, so that being said, like, to know all that stuff, it means you had to be a extremely like religious, right? Um, and I mean, I say that jokingly just because of the themes of these stories. But also Blizzard and stuff writes like a ton of, I think they have like a few Diablo books and stuff like that. So to know everything, like all the lore in this game is from other stories and from 2 previous games that do the same thing, have all these different stories and all these different layers to them. So just keep that in mind. Now, when it comes to knowing everything about how to upgrade and how to whatever, you know what? I'm sure there's a bunch of people out there who know just about just about everything with this game. But once again, they're constantly patching things in, and they don't always tell us everything in each patch. So it would once again kind of be impossible to know everything about this game. That being said, good question. You're a hero. I'm loving it, dude. Thank you for joining. Well, hey, man. I just gotta say that lore and mechanics fall under the category as everything, you know. Um, yeah, see, mechanics, yeah, see what I mean? Like, you might know a lot about the game, but to know everything means you have to play every class to the fullest extent. You know what I mean? Which is a lot, you know? You can still know a lot about each character. But, you know, that's a lot. I think this guy is bad. Yeah, he's right, man. There is a lot to read about in this for this game. Not necessarily lore, right? But just understanding the mechanics and stuff. I could dig that. So I'll switch characters just to give you an idea what else is going on in this game. This dude's looking kind of derpy because I got my butt kicked recently, but you'll see. So you were asking about healing earlier. I have health regeneration on this character, so you can see that I'm slowly building up health right now. And then of course I could use my potion, but I'm just gonna wait. Skibbly do. Thank you. Cheers. It's true, man. You know, you join our clan, you hang out in this channel enough, you'll learn plenty about this game. And I appreciate that you ask questions. You'll definitely learn if you're asking questions. It's kind of why I hopped from Demon Hunter to Crusader, which is a different class, to kind of show you a little bit, show you something else, you know. So another part of the end game is I'm pretty sure you can only find these after you've beaten campaign, and it's a form of currency that you can like gamble with. How do you only do this area? I'm only doing it right now just to just for the fun of it. It's just because it's so silly, and you make a ton of money doing it. And I've devoted my Tuesday runs to a certain part of the game called bounties, which is I was explaining to you as mini quests, and these types of runs like treasure goblins and treasure hunting and vaults and stuff like that. Earlier someone asked me if I wanted to do some, and I said yes, and I was the one who had the most of the rings to do it, so it turned into, you know, everyone opening a couple, and myself included, and now you can just caught me in the middle of that, and then after that I decided to open another one just to kind of show fat loot drops and how to get them, and it's fun. And this isn't easy either. Looks easy, but it's actually kind of hard. We'll do something a little different after this, just to show you something else for endgame, you know? I don't know if you caught that cow area that we did earlier, but that was something else, end game that's just like craziness that I just wanted to show you. I was saying, you know, chasing down goblins can be difficult if you're a noob like me. If it's on a high difficulty, you know, chasing those suckers can be hard. But I know you're an absolute beast, so goblins ain't nothing to you. Chris, gold one, my dude. What class you playing season 10? Dude, you know me, I'm going to play a bunch of classes. I'm definitely going to do a Hydra Wizard because I think that's hilarious. And definitely going to do my support Barb again, if that's a thing. And I'll probably do Crusader again because I had a good time with Crusader. Nope, I mistimed that. Alright, people. Oh, shit. I will be right back. Okay. Do you think D3 is a complex game? Oh yeah, dude. I mean, think of it this way. All the stuff we were just talking about is mostly endgame stuff, right? And doing it on a higher difficulty like this is not easy. You know, and finding gear to synergize with your skills is not easy. You know, you don't always find, right? You've played video games before, it sounds like. You don't always find everything. Now, the complexity isn't finding the gear, but because there are so many overlaying details that work together with certain builds on the top tier stuff, is what makes it a complex game. You know, because some people never even make it past campaign mode. You know what I mean? Even if you were to like power level them or something, get them the highest, some of the better gear or some of the higher levels, right? They still might not ever get past that, right? Or if you play the campaign mode, some people never top level in campaign. They just, you know, they'll be like in Act 4. You know what I mean? And have never beaten it yet, or they're still in Act 3 or something, right? I don't know how many people, now this is unrelated to Diablo, but so many people would get stuck in the water temple of one of the Legend of Zelda games, right? And I remember that being a joke, and they just never got out of that temple. I just always got a kick out of that, you know, because some people just never get past certain things in games. It's just that's how far they get, and they just love that game still. So is it a complex game? Yeah. If you actually make it past campaign mode, which is complex in itself, then you gain access to all that endgame stuff we were just talking about, you know? And it is. It's crazy. And it's a lot to remember, too. If you ever try and, like, explain this game to someone who's never played it before, who, like, in real detail, like, if I really started explaining all this stuff, I keep summarizing everything for you, because it's, like, ridiculous to try and explain, you know? But because you seem like you're, like, game savvy and you know the deal, I know you're not, like, I know you're picking it up. It's as complex as you want it to be. You know what I mean? If you want it to be just a story mode game, then it can be just a story mode game. If you want it to be competing with the rest of the world, it can be competing with the rest of the world. You know what I'm saying? And competing with the rest of the world is fucking super complex, and having to know everything to do. You know? It's as complex as you want it to be, so the more complex the better, then this is a never-ending game for you. And it looks like there isn't a lot offered with skills and all that, but don't let it deceive you. And don't get wrapped up on one character, you know? Because there's a lot to learn. And if you do get wrapped up in one character, which is not a bad thing, but if you're trying to learn everything there is to learn about this game, don't play one person. But if you're trying to figure out how complex it is, then definitely play other people. Yeah, sorry, I was looking at it. I can't click it right now. And, but if you describe what you're talking about or what you're sending, I'd feel a little better. I just wasn't talking, man. But so basically, what was going on there was what we were talking about. I opened a part of the game where a bunch of enemies and a boss kind of thing, and it's like a dungeon, just like in any game, right? You'd find a dungeon or something, right? But it's kind of just in town versus having to run out and go find it and go clear it. You know how people find their favorite area to clear or something. You got to go out and find it, right? It's not always in the same place, or it's not always like right in the same direction. This kind of allows you to do it just in town. And it's purely endgame. Shit. Yeah, well, I was, but you weren't even up here yet. And I was muted just because, no, you're fine. We were talking, but I'm gonna skibbly do. I'm gonna actually raise it a little bit and we'll see how it goes. Thank you. So this is a part of the game where you can scale the difficulty as high as you want to. Even like higher than the highest difficulty in the game kind of thing. And people are very competitive over it and stuff like that. So it's just another part of endgame that is endgame. You wouldn't have any access to it unless you have played the campaign fully. Wow. Just a bunch of monsters. Bunch of baddies. Wow. Dang. Yo, see you later, Black Fox. You're a hero. Oh, Sour, you're a hero too, man. Thank you again. You guys are both awesome. Much love and thank you so much.
Are you listening?